Hammers up, everyone. Towelliee here, back at it again. Hope y'all been enjoying those highlight videos. We're re-upping some videos on YouTube in the next coming months. Have a good little thing going on with YouTube right now. We have a little let's make a deal YouTube. Anyway, Bwazamdi is back after January 22nd. When the Battle of for whatever the Zaralor raid comes out, so does Season 2 of Mythic Plus and Arenas. But we now have a new seasonal Affix. We had Infested in Season 1. Strand of the Storm, fuck you, whatever. It was okay. But now we have Reaping. Now what happens in Reaping is, as you're going to notice as I'm killing all these ads here, now I'm just watching a VOD of yesterday's stream just so I can kind of skim through it and show you different parts of it. Every 20% of enemy forces, every ad that we have killed will come back to life, and they will all swarm toward us, and we have to fight them. It is chaotic. It is crazy. And they have abilities and debuffs. Now, I'm in a little 11 freehold here on the PTR. My item level is 413 because I am able to get 415 gear for testing. I'm also using Sloopbag's new weak auras, which I'm still getting accustomed to. So, as usual, don't mind the noobness, but I'm usually a noob anyway, so who cares? But as you can see, as I'm killing these ads, these spirits are lingering behind. Now, at 20% enemy forces, Bwazamdi, one of our favorite characters of the Horde side in BFA, Bwazamdi, he will resurrect all of these ads together. At the same time, they will charge at us, and we have to DPS them down. Now, as of right now in the PTR, these mobs have 50% of the health of the ads we just killed. Now, they do a few abilities here and there. Let me explain their abilities after we see. I believe this is a trash pack that will trigger the first set of waves. Now, this happens at 20%, 40%, 60%, 80, and 100. Now, you can actually bypass the 80 to 100% by killing the last boss of the dungeon. Like in Freehold, you could do that early and not having to deal with the last, and then kill whatever mobs you have to get to 100%, and then the wave won't matter because you've completed the dungeon. I'm not even sure if the wave actually comes. I never tested that. But here we go. 20.7%. We're kind of stacking up, getting ready to go. Bwazamdi resurrects all these risen souls, and here they come, boys, and we're at them at the races. Here are the risen souls being tanked by Towelliee. Towelliee pops Bubble God, but misses one mob that kills the warrior. And yeah, it's chaotic. It's craziness. I love it, but it's fucking terrifying. And right now, the feedback is kind of, I would say, half and half. There are people who are saying that, you know, here we go again, massive amounts of trash in dungeons, what we've been complaining about for so long now, that there's too much trash. Now you're giving us more trash to kill. But honestly, I like this more than Infested. Infested was just kind of like, here you go, CC pull, CC pull. I feel like this makes the dungeons go at a little bit of a faster pace, because once those ads get to you, it's just a cleave fest. Now, here's the other issue, the meta. What's the meta gonna be like? You know, is it gonna be prop paladin, you know, Mist Weaver, triple demon hunter, or, you know, you can name all the AoE specs out there. It's gonna be a little bit crazy. People will definitely be stacking and finding the right compositions based on pure cleave. You might have some specs and classes. You guys can give me those names in the comments of those specs and classes that are probably not so great at AoE. But I mean, I think as long as you have, you know, mid-range AoE, and everyone in your comp has some sort of stun, it should be pretty easy to contain. Now, let me tell you what these Risen Souls can do. Risen Souls have the passive Risen Soul, and they do nothing but melee. That's their passive. Now, the passive makes every successful melee swing apply the debuff Reap Soul. You might have seen 39 fucking stacks of that on me on that first trash. This deals 2% of a player's maximum health every 3 seconds and stacks, and can be removed by a magic dispel, which is good. So you can dispel it off of the tank if it gets too high. I think our healer didn't realize that until the first time we ever encountered the Reaping, which was right now. Tormented Soul. Tormented Soul, they spam an ability called Grave Bolt. This is a 5-second long cast that can be interrupted. If successfully cast, it deals 25% of the player's max health. Now, those ads were kind of tricky because if you were not LOSing and you were like in a long hallway or whatever in a big area, you had to either grip them in or I had to Avenger Shield them in because they just cast from afar. There's sometimes 2 to 3 of them out there, and they get pretty crazy. Then there's Lost Soul. Lost Soul periodically casts Shadow Smash, which is a frontal cone that can be dodged, so you can dodge it. Any player hit has their maximum health reduced by 20% for a minute. So that can kind of hinder your next couple of trash pulls if all this AoE shit hits you. When the Lost Soul dies, it casts Expel Soul, summoning lots of swirlies. Any player who gets hit by the swirlies are knocked back, and their damage and healing is reduced by 10%. Your damage, your healing, is reduced by 10% for 30 seconds. Yeah. Now the question is, which mobs will be spawning, or which reaping mobs spawn? So an example here is you have your Lost Souls, your Tormented Souls, and your Risen Souls. Lost Souls are like lieutenant creatures, like Reanimated Honor Horrors or the Enforcers in right here in Freehold. They're the ones who are considered Lost Souls. They're going to be immune to CC, and they're the most difficult one that you're to kill of most of the dungeons that you're in. Then you got ranged creatures, which will act as your Tormented Souls. Then you have Risen Souls, who's like just everything else there is out there. Now, we're going to kill this boss, and we're going to get to 40%, then I'll move on. But this is the new Affix for Season 2. I really want to know what you guys think. And here's some miscellaneous facts from wowhead.com. Great website, as always, for your WoW information. They do not count toward the trash count, these ads. As these mobs run toward the party, they will not aggro any mobs they pass along the way. They do not have True Sight. You can stealth past or use Shadow Meld to drop combat. That is a problem. That is a huge, huge problem, and I'm hoping that they fix that. Because just being able to Shadow Meld, I mean, that's going to... Obviously, you can see the problem. Do I have to explain? I don't think I have to explain. Even something as maybe Conceal might work, like... kill maybe 2 or 3 of the Risen Souls that are near you. You drop out of combat, you conceal, and then that's it. The easy fix would be getting you in automatic combat the second you hit 20-40%. That could work. I don't know. If you wipe or get out of combat with them, they will reset to the location where the mobs originally died. However, then they have a gigantic aggro radius. So I'm not sure if Blizzard is just maybe allowing us to drop aggro or drop our Shadow Meld on them and then just not pull them. I don't know what gigantic radius means. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know how big that is. All alive reaping ads will also automatically pull on the next reaping wave. Yeah. So if you skip 1 through 20, 20 through 40, which is what you're seeing right now, I would get 1 through 40 all in one shot. That is insane. So my advice, don't skip unless you're like, the top tier Mythic, 23 pushers and they know exactly what they're doing kind of shit. But don't get cute in there. They are unaffected by Sanguine, and they can be hit by heavy cannons in Toll Dagger. We actually tested that in one of our runs. Now, here's a cool part. And we found this out because we depleted our, I think it was a 12 Borealis. Let's see if I can fast forward this VOD to that point. If you deplete the dungeon, Bwazamdi will come out of nowhere and say, "Poor little thing, you be needing some help from old Bwazamdi," And then he'll say, hello, you come to make a deal? And then you could click on him, and he gives you an option that says, accept Bwazamdi's bargain. And Bwazamdi's bargain is a buff that increases your health and your damage by 20% for the remainder of the dungeon after you have depleted. Now, here's the second wave of Lost Souls coming our way. As you can see, we got a bunch of them right there, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this must be it. And that's not too bad, right? This is okay. Got all these, This looks good. And here are the other ones. I forgot that there's a bunch of these guys grave bolting. Once again, those grave bolts hit you for 25% of your maximum health if they hit. So yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I want to hear you guys' feedback. Let me see if I can fast forward this VOD to the point where we were doing, hold on. I think this is where we were at the end here. Where's the last percentage before it all goes to hell? Hold on, let me. All right, so yeah, we're gonna pull this last trash pack here with the these lovely snipers and invaders. You know, you guys love those. Luckily, as a paladin, I can cleanse that invading crap, or just stun them. That works too. Yeah, this actually Risen Soul one might have been one of my favorites because it actually caught me off guard. For some reason, I just had like a mental, I don't know, blankage, and I completely forgot that we had just killed these right where we were. And when they popped up, it actually startled the shit out of me, like girl scream Towelliee style. And I'm like, ah, shit, man, not good at all. Yeah, scared the bejesus out of me. So here we go, 96%. I hate Sanguine Week. Any other tanks out there watching this video hate Sanguine? My fucking god, I can't stand it. I like the original Sanguine when it was like a little mini puddle. Now it's just a nuisance. People are like, oh, Fortified, Sanguine Grievous, good push week. Fuck you. Goddamn Toll Dagger, Waycrest Manor, all those hallways that are like really, really enclosed and small. Can't stand that shit, man. All right, so here we go. We're trying to kill all these at the same time. We'd get it. And I'm here. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, we're just, oh, shit. And I'm like, fuck. Here they all come. They were just right there. So once again, they're not affected by Sanguine, so it's pretty cool. And those are all the AoEs that you want to, like, kind of miss the shadow crashes on the ground. As you can see, some of those Risen Souls, some have different health pools than the other. This is a pretty good destruction of them. I already have about 9 stacks of that reduction debuff or whatnot. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of chain stunning. There's gonna be a meta out there, but definitely, like, I want to hear your guys' views on it. Like this or Infested. I hear some people calling this an uninventive affix. I like it because Wazamdi is the focal point of the Battle for the Tsar lore, and they kind of came up with a cool way just to like make the dungeon, you know, more dangerous as you're completing it. You know, I feel like a lot of people nowadays, you know, their goal is just, I don't care about what the fuck the affix is for seasonal. I just want to get from point A to point B as soon as possible. Collect my loot. Fuck you. Whatever. I kind of like the fact that they're trying new things like these seasonal affixes. Now, they still got to fix a few things like the Shadow Meld crap and the concealment BS and all the skips and stuff, you know, just they could work on that. Now, let's see if I can fast forward to the point in this video where we accept Wasamdi's gift. I got a sub. They love me. Do we have the buff ready? No. Oh, yeah, we do have it. Hold on. I got to, like, go back a little bit more. I'm trying to get back right about here. It's so hard to navigate this shit. Yeah, so here we go. Wazamdi's right there. I'm going to talk to him, and he's going to say, accept Wazamdi's bargain. I accept it. Serve Wazamdi in life and death. Sure, why not? And then there you go. The debuff will say, damage done, increased by 20%. Healing done, increased by 20%. So that's just it's like a pity buff, really. Blizzard is giving us a fucking pity buff and saying, hey, you've depleted this dungeon. There's no reason for you to keep wiping for 60, 70 minutes. Let's give you a little bit of a bump so you can just finish this bitch off and go about your way. Anyway, let me know in the comments. Reaping, better than Infested, worse than Infested. What do you like? What don't you like? Love to hear your feedback. Thank you for listening. Until the next video, we'll be looking at the Colterian Zandalari Druid forms plus character creation on the PTR. Peace out and have a wonderful, wonderful time out there in BFA.